back with another banger. All right, guys. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Today, as you guys know, we're continuing the challenge, the one Old Testament reading challenge. And today is actually the first day of June. Yesterday was May 31st, 2025. So, yeah, we jumped into a new month. And so, this is the month we're supposed to finish the challenge, the end of this month, the 19th. So, we got to finish up here. We're 2 weeks in. And yeah, it's been great. It's been awesome. I've been reading a ton, and it's something. It's a discipline too. It's also for me to be able to start something and also finish it. Right. Be able to do something that's actually difficult. Reading the Old Testament in a month. I mean, it's like 25 chapters each day. Like you gotta be able to read. You have to be dedicated. You have to be disciplined. You can't be missing days. If you miss days, you're behind, and if you're behind, you can't finish it. So today it's 6:30 right now. I just came back from work, so it's a later read. It's a later day in the reading, but yeah, I just gotta finish this first of all. Like it's like already like starting this live stream, starting to read. Like I'm already tired. You get what I'm saying? Like I went to work, grinded out for 6 hours. Um, So now I just got to tie down and figure out if I can. We're going to finish. We're going to read what we need to read today. No matter what happens, we're not going to fall asleep. We are going to read what we need to read. But thank you guys for tuning in for this live stream and appreciate you guys. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, anything, any of that sort. So let's jump into it. I'm going to share a couple. I'm going to share I'm going to share a couple of links here. Actually, not links. I'm going to share my um a couple. What I don't even know what they're called. Tabs. I'm going to share my tab here. So let me share my tab here. Let me know if y'all see this. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Okay, guys. So this is the 1 month Old Testament reading plan. So I started on the 19th. As you guys see right here, the May 19th, and we're finishing June 19th. So we got 18 days, including today. So you guys see what we've checked off? We literally went from Genesis in 2 weeks. We went from Genesis to Kings, First and Second Kings. Like in 2 weeks, we read Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, First and Second Samuel, and now we're on Kings, and we're going to be finishing First Kings today, and then we're going to start Second Kings. So we've read quite a bit of books, and we've read a lot of chapters. We've learned a lot too within the reading, because I've been writing just like different verses or different sections or different chapters in a little book that I've been keeping by my side, and I've just been writing it, marking it, pretty much marking different passages that I'm having a hard time with, or even passages that I want to go back and read. You get what I'm saying? So I'm learning quite a bit doing that. It's been absolutely crazy. It's been awesome. I've been liking it. It's been hard, and but man, it's nothing impossible. You guys can do this too. If you guys want to join in on the challenge, or if you guys want to start up your own challenge, I mean, everything is right here, man. I did for 31 days, just a month. Started on this day. You can do the start date. You do how many days you want to read. Let's say you want to read the Bible in a month. It will lay out a plan for you to be able to read the Bible in a month. Or if you want to read the New Testament in 2 weeks, and it'll lay out a plan for you to read 2 weeks. So like this is literally the best Bible reading planner generated. This is the best right here. You guys go search thing up, and y'all start your own challenges for real, for real. So let me stop talking and let's get into the reading because I have a lot of reading and it's getting late and I'm getting tired and yeah, so let's do this. Um all right guys, so we're gonna go to Gateway Bible. Gateway Bible. And then we gotta click on Gateway Online. Click this. And then you just search up First Kings 14. That's where we're at. Enter. And we're right here. First Kings chapter 14. 6:34 p.m. June 1st, 2025. Let's get right into it. Um, yeah. Oh, I did not show you guys that part, did I? Let me share that actually. I did not share that, did I? You guys do not see what I'm looking at. Okay, let me know if you. Okay, First Kings 14. At the time, Abijah the son of Jeroboam fell sick, and Jeroboam said to his wife, "Arise and disguise yourself, that it not be known that you are the wife of Jeroboam, and go to Shiloh. Behold, Ahijah the prophet is there, who said of me that I should be king over his people. Take with you 10 loaves, some cakes, and a jar of honey, and go to him. He will tell you what shall happen to the child." Jeroboam's wife did so. Right. She arose and went to Shiloh and came to the house of Ahijah. Now Ahijah could not see, for his eyes were dim because of his age. And the Lord said to Ahijah, "Behold, the wife of Jeroboam is coming to inquire of you concerning your son, for he is sick. Thus and thus shall you say to her." When she came, she pretended to be another woman. But when Ahijah heard the sound of her foot as she came in at the door, he said, "Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why do you pretend to be another? For I am charged with unbearable news for you. Go tell Jeroboam, thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, because I exalted you from among the people and made you leader over my people Israel, and tore the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it to you, and yet you have not been like my servant David, who kept my commandments and followed me with all his heart, doing only that which was right in my eyes. But you have done evil above all who were before you, and have gone and for yourself made for yourself other gods and metal images, provoking me to anger, and have cast me behind your back. Therefore, behold, I will bring harm upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam every male, both bond, free, in Israel, and will burn up the house of Jeroboam as a man burns up during it. As a man burns up dung until it's all gone. Anyone belonging to Jeroboam who dies in the city, the dog shall eat, and anyone who dies in the open country, the birds of the heaven shall eat, for the Lord has spoken it. Arise, therefore, go to your house. Um, when your feet enter the city, the child shall die, and all Israel shall mourn for him and bear him, for he only of Jeroboam shall come to the grave, because in him there is found something pleasing to the Lord, the God of Israel, in the house of Jeroboam. Moreover, the Lord will arise for himself a king over Israel, who shall cut off from the house of Jeroboam today, and henceforth the Lord will strike Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and root up Israel out of its good land that he gave to the fathers, and scatters them beyond the Euphrates, because they have made their Asherim, provoking the Lord to anger. And he will give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, which he sinned and made Israel to sin. Then Jeroboam's wife arose and departed and came to Tirzah. And as she came to the threshold of the house, the child died. And all Israel mourned, and all Israel buried him and mourned for him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by his servant Ahijah the prophet. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he warned and how he reigned, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. And oh, the Chronicles. And the time that Jeroboam reigned was 22 years, and he slept with his fathers, and Nabab his son reigned in his place. Now Rehoboam The son, oh, that's Jeroboam. Yeah, Jeroboam. Now Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city that the Lord had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, but his name there, to put his name there. His mother's name was Naamah the Ammonite. And Judah did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. They provoked him to jealousy with their sins that they committed more than all their fathers had done. For they also built for themselves high places and pillars and ashram on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also male cult prostitutes in the land. They did according to all the abominations of the nation that the Lord drove out before the people of Israel. In the 5th year of King Rehoboam, Shishak, king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem. He took away the treasuries of the house of the Lord and the treasuries of the king's house. He took away everything. He took away all the shields of gold that Solomon had made, and King Rehoboam made in their place shields of bronze and committed them to the hands of the officers of the guard who kept the door of the king's house. And as often as the king went into the house of the Lord, the guard carried them and brought them back to the guard room. Now the rest of the acts of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually. And Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried with his father in the city of David. His mother's name was Naamah the Ammonite, and Abijam, his son, reigned in his place. So that is chapter 15. That's chapter 14. Chapter 15. Abijam reigns in Judah. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam the son of Nebat, Abijam began to reign over Judah. He reigned for 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And he walked in all the sins that his fathers did before him, and his heart was not wholly true to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake, the Lord has given him a lamp in Jerusalem, setting up his son after him and establishing Jerusalem, because David did what was right in the eyes of the Lord and did not turn aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Now, there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. The rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam, and Abijam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city, in the city of David, and Asa his son reigned in his place. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Asa began to reign over Judah. Then he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as David his father had done, but he put away the male cult prostitutes out of the land. He removed all the idols that his fathers had made. He also removed Maacah, his mother, from being mother, because she had made an abominable image of Asherah. And Asa cut down her image and burned it at the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken away. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was wholly true to the Lord all his days, and he brought into the house of the Lord the sacred gifts of his fathers and his own sacred gifts, silver and gold and vessels. There was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might permit no one to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasuries of the house of the Lord and the treasuries of the king's house, and gave them into the hands of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, Let there be a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending to you a present of silver and gold. Go, break your covenant with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may withdraw from me. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, and conquered Ijon, Dan, Abel, Beth, Maacah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. And when Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah, and he lived in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation to all Judah. None was exempt. They carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber, um, with which Baasha had been building, and with them King Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. Now the rest of the acts of Asa, and all his might and all that he did, and the cities that he built, are they not written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? But in his old age he was diseased in his feet, and Asa slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place. Nabad, Nabab, Nadab, Nabab, Nadab, the son of Jeroboam, began to reign over Israel in the second year of Asa, king of Judah, and he reigned over Israel 2 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord and walked in the ways of his father in his sin which he made Israel to sin. Baasha, the son of Ahijah of the house of Issachar, conspired against him, and Baasha struck him down at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, for Nabad and all Israel were laying siege to Gibbethon. So Baasha killed him in the third year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. And as soon as he was king, he killed all the house of Jeroboam, and he left to the house of Jeroboam not one that breathed until he had destroyed it, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite. It was for the sins of Jeroboam that he sinned, and that he made Israel to sin, and because of the anger to which he provoked the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Nabab and all that he did, are they not written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. In the third year of Asa, king of Judah, Baasha, the son of Ahijah, began to reign over all Israel at Tirzah. And he reigned 24 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sins which he made Israel to sin. So there's that's chapter 15. Chapter 16. And the word of the Lord came to Jehu. Came to Jehu. And the word of the Lord came to Jehu the son of Hanani against Baasha, saying, Since I exalted you out of the dust and made you leader over my people Israel, you have walked in the ways of Jeroboam, and have made my people Israel to sin, provoking me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will utterly sweep away Baasha and his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Anyone belonging to Baasha who dies in the cities, the dog shall eat it. Anyone of his who dies in the field, the birds of the heavens shall have. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha, what he did, and his might, are they not written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Baasha slept with his fathers, and was buried at Tirzah, and Elah, his son, reigned in his place. Moreover, the word of the Lord came by the prophet Jehu the son of Hanani against Baasha and his house, both because of all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, in being like the house of Jeroboam, and also because he destroyed it. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah, 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 Eli, let's just say Elah. Elah, the son of Baasha, began to reign over Israel and Tirzah, and he reigned 2 years. But his servant Zimri, commander of half his chariots, conspired against him when he was at Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arza, who was over the household in Tirzah. Zimri came in and struck him down and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. When he began to reign, as soon as he had seated himself on his throne, he struck down all the house of Baasha. He did not leave him a single male of his relatives or his friends. Then Zimri destroyed all the house of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet, for all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his sons, which they sinned and which they have made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the king of Israel? In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri reigned 7 days, reigned 7 days in Tirzah. Now the troops were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, and the troops who were encamped heard it and said, Zimri has conspired and he has killed the king. Therefore all Israel made Omri, the commander of the army, king over Israel that day in the camp. So Omri went from Gibbethon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. When Zimri saw the city was taken, he went into the citadel of the king's house and burned the king's house over him with the fire and died because of his sins that he committed, doing evil in the sight of the Lord, walking in the way of Jeroboam, for his sins which he committed, making Israel to sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri and the conspiracy that he made, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the King of Israel, kings of Israel? Then the people of Israel were divided into two parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people who followed Omri overcame the people who followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri became king. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, Omri began to reign over Israel, and he reigned for 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tisra. He bought the hill of Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and he fortified the hill and called the name of that city he built Samaria, um, after the name of Shemer, the owner of the hill. Omri did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and did more evil than all who were before him. So he walked in all the ways of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in the sins that he made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger by their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri that he did, and the might that he showed, are they not written in the books of the Chronicles of the king of Israel? And Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his place. Ahab. This is interesting here. In the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah. So Asa reigned, I think Asa reigned like 40 plus years. In the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, Ahab the son of Omri began to reign over Israel, and Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord more than all who were before him, and as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat. He took for his wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethabal, king of the Sidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. He erected an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he built in Samaria, and Ahab made an Asherah. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel who were before him. In this day, Hael of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation at the cost of Abram, his firstborn, and set it up its gate at the cost of his younger son Zegub, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by Joshua, the son of Nun. Wait, what? Joshua, the son of Nun? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Hmm. I gotta write that down. Joshua, the son of Nun? Isn't Joshua dead? First Kings. Are we in chapter 16? Yes, chapter 16, verse 34. Okay. Let's go to chapter 18. I mean, chapter 17. Now Elijah the Tishbite of Tishbe in Gilead said to Ahab, As the Lord the God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall be neither dew nor rain these years except by my word. And the word of the Lord came to him, Depart from here and turn eastward and hide yourself by the brook Cherith, which is east of the Jordan. You shall drink from the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. So he went and did according to the word of the Lord. He went and lived by the brook Cherith, that is east of the Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning and bread and meat in the evening. He drank from the brook. And after a while, the brook dried up because there was no rain in the land. The word of the Lord came to him, Arise, go to Zer. Arise, go to Zarephath, which belonged to Sidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow there to feed you. So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, a widow was there gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, Bring me a little water in the vessel that I may drink. And as she was going to bring it, he called to her and said, Bring me a morsel of bread in your hand. And she says, As the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. And now I'm gathering a couple of sticks that I may go in and prepare for myself and my son that we may eat it and die. And Elijah said to her, Do not fear, go do as you have said. But first make me a little cake of it and bring it to me, and afterward make something for you, for yourself and your son. For thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, the jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be empty until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth. And she went and did as Elijah said, and she and he and her household ate for many days. The jar of flour was not spent, neither did the jug of oil become empty, according to the words of the Lord that he spoke by Elijah. So this is when the character Elijah the prophet is introduced. 1 Kings 17. After this, the son of the woman, mistress of the house, became ill, and his illness was so severe that there was no breath left in him. She said to Elijah, What have you against me, O man of God? You have come to me to bring my sin to remembrance and to cause the death of my son. And he said to her, Give me your son. And he took him from her arms and carried him up into the upper chamber where he lodged, and he laid him on his own bed. And he cried to the Lord, O Lord my God, have you brought calamity even upon the widow with whom I sojourned by killing her son? Then he stretched himself upon the child 3 times and cried to the Lord, O Lord my God, let this child's life come into him again. And the Lord listened to the voice of Elijah, and the life of the child came into him again, and he revived. And Elijah took the child and brought him down from the upper chamber into the house and delivered him to his mother. And Elijah said, See, your son's alive. And the woman said to Elijah, Now I know that you are a man of God, and that the word of the Lord is in your mouth is truth. Last Kings 17, Kings 18. After many days, the words of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go show yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. So Elijah went to show himself to Ahab. Now the famine was severe in Samaria, and Ahab called Obadiah, who was over the household. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly, and when Jezebel cut off the prophet of the Lord, Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50s in a cave and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said to Obadiah, Go through the land to all the springs of water and to all the valleys. Perhaps we may find grass and save the horses and mules alive, not lose some of the animals. So they divided the land between them to pass through it. And Ahab went in one direction by himself, and Obadiah went in another direction by himself. And as Obadiah was on his way, behold, Elijah met him. And Obadiah recognized him and fell on his face and said, Is it you, my lord Elijah? And he answered him, It is I. Go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, How have I sinned that you would give your servants into the hand of Ahab to kill me? As the Lord lives, as the Lord your God lives, there's no nation or kingdom where my Lord has not sent to seek you. And when they would say he is not here, he would take an oath of the kingdom or nation that they had not found you. And now you say, Go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And as soon as I have gone from you, the Spirit of the Lord will carry you will carry you, I know not where. And so when I come and tell Ahab and he cannot find you, he will kill me, although I, your servant, have feared the Lord from my youth. Um, all right, the 24 verse. Verse 13. Has it not been told, my Lord, that what I did when Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord, how I hid 100 men of the Lord's prophet by fifties in a cave and fed them with bread and water? And now you say, go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he will kill me. And Elijah said, as the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself to him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. When Ahab saw Elijah, Ahab said to him, is it you, troubler of Israel? He answered, I have not troubled Israel, but you have in your father's house, because you have abandoned the commandments of the Lord and followed the Baals. Now therefore, send and gather all Israel to me at Mount Carmel, and the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah who eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent all the people of Israel and gathered the prophets together at Mount Carmel. And Elijah came near to all the people and said, how long will you limping? Will you go limping between two different opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people did not answer him a word. Then Elijah said to the people, I only am left of the prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let two bulls be given to us, and let them be chosen, one bull for themselves, and cut it in pieces and lay it on the wood. But put no fire to it, and I will prepare the other bull and lay it on the wood and put no fire to it. And you call upon the name of your God, and I will call upon the name of the Lord, the God who answers by fire. He is God. And all the people answered, it is well spoken. Then Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, choose for yourselves one bull and prepare first, for you are many, and call upon the name of your God, but put no fire to it. And they took the bull that was given them, and they prepared and called upon the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, oh, Baal, answer us. But there was no voice and no one answered. They limped around the altar that they had made, and at noon Elijah mocked them, saying, cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is musing, or he is reliving himself, or he is on journey, or perhaps he's asleep and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their custom with swords and lances until the blood gushed out upon them. And as midday passed, they raved on until the time of the offering of the oblation. But there was no voice, no one answered, no one paid attention. Ah, that hurts. Then Elijah said to the people, come near to me. And all the people came near to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that had been thrown down. Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord saying, Israel shall be your name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar as great as he would as would contain two sides of seed. And he put the wood in the order and cut the bowl in pieces and laid it on the wood, and said, fill 4 jars with water and pour it on the burnt offering and on the wood. And he said, do it a second time. And they did it a second time. He said, do it a third time. And they did it a third time. And the water ran around the altar and filled the trench also with water. And at the time of the offering, the oblation, Elijah the prophet came near and said, O Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, that I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your word. Answer me, O Lord, answer me, that this people may know that you, O Lord our God, that you have turned their hearts back. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering and the wood and the stones and the dust, licking up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, they fell on the face and said, the Lord, he is God, the Lord, he is God. And Elijah said to them, seize the prophets of Baal, let none of them escape. And they seized them And Elijah brought them down to the brook Kidron and slaughtered them there. So they killed them all. And Elijah said to Ahab, "Go up and eat and drink, for there is a sound of a rushing rain." So Ahab went to eat and drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Mount Carmel, and he bowed himself down on the earth and put his face between his knees. And he said to his servant, "Go now, look toward the sea." And he went and up and looked and said, "There is nothing." He said, "Go again 7 times." And the seventh time he said, "Behold, a little cloud like a man's hand is rising from the sea." And he said, "Go up," said to Ahab. Perhaps your chariot and I, perhaps your chariot and prepare your chariot and go down, lest the rain stop you. And in a little while the heavens grew black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he gathered up his garment and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. Okay, so 1 Kings 18:32 says, a seah was about 7 quarters. 7 quarters is almost 2 gallons, because 4 quarts is in 1 gallon. So about a gallon of water. Is that all they did? Was this a gallon? Is it? Oh. About two. So about 2 gallons. A little less than 2 gallons, but around 2 gallons. Wow. So that is chapter 18, right? That was chapter 18? No. Yeah, that was chapter 18. Chapter 19, Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah saying, "So may the gods do to me and more also if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by this time tomorrow." Then he was afraid, and he rose and ran for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a broom tree. And he asked that he might die, saying, "It is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am no better than my fathers." And he lay down and slept under a broom tree. And behold, an angel touched him, said to him, "Arise, eat." And he looked, and behold, there was at his head a cake baked on hot stones and a jar of water. He ate and drank and lay down again. And the angel of the Lord came again a second time and touched him, and said, "Arise, eat, for the journey is too great for you." And he arose and ate and drank and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights. What is it with 40 days and 40 nights? To Herod, the mount of God. Then he came to the cave and lodged in it. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, and he said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He said, "I have been very jealous for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant